Cuba banknotes rare in value. The 100 Cuban peso banknote from 1959 depicts on the obverse the portrait of Francisco Aguilera, Cuban patriot of the 19th century. It played a pivotal role in the fight against colonial invaders for the achievement of the independence of Cuba. He also held the post of Vice President of Cuba for 8 years, from 1869 to 1877. To the right of his portrait the number 100, which indicates the face value of the paper money. To the left, the red seal of the National Bank of Cuba. On the reverse, you will see the nation's coat of arms in the center, composed of a shield, which contains within it 3 images. A sun that illuminates the Caribbean Sea, with a key symbolizing birth, and the geographical position of Cuba. Lower left, stripes indicating the division into states of the island during the colonial period. To the right, a landscape with a palm tree in the center. Above the coat of arms, the inscription Republic of Cuba. Today this note is worth $25. The 20 Cuban peso banknote from 1985 depicts on the obverse the number 20 in the center, with the wording superimposed in Spanish. 20 pesos. To the left, inside the circle is represented the official coat of arms of Cuba, first adopted in 1848, 50 years before the country's independence was obtained, that is, in 1898. To the right, another circle encloses the letter D, which indicates a particularity. This paper money was intended for students, which was allowed to trade with foreign countries. In fact, this banknote was valid for 5 years from the date of issue. If not used, it could be exchanged for another currency. If instead 5 years would have passed, this paper money could only be exchanged with Cuban pesos and not in other foreign currencies. On the reverse, both at the top and at the bottom of the sides you will notice dashes, on which the signature of the holder of the banknote was to be shown, and the date of issue which indicated the beginning of the 5-year validity. Very special paper money today is worth $26. The 200 Cuban peso banknote from 2010 remained in circulation for over 10 years. On the obverse, the bust of Frank Pais is depicted, Cuban revolutionary, who organized a movement against Batista's government, military dictator until 1959. Considered a fundamental piece of the Cuban Revolution which began in 1953 and ended in 1959. He managed to achieve his goal by overthrowing the Batista dictatorship. Unfortunately Frank Pais, he could not see the result of his revolution, because he died killed in 1957, or 2 years earlier from Fidel Castro's New Cuba. Next to his face, the inscription in Spanish, indicating the face value of the banknote. On the reverse, you will be able to see the Moncada Barracks building located in Santiago. It became a symbolic building for the event of the Cuban Revolution, when on July 26, 1953 the movement that gave birth to the rebellion in opposition of the Batista dictatorship began right there. Today this 2010 note is worth $33. The 5 Cuban peso banknote issued from 1958 to 1960. It was put into circulation during the First Cuban Republic, led by the dictator Batista. On the obverse, you will see the image of Maximo Gomez on the side, Chief General of the Cuban Revolutionary Troops in the First War of Independence, which began in 1895 and ended in 1898 against the Spanish Empire. Remembered for taking part in numerous Latin American conflicts, she devoted much of his career to Cuba. Famous for his severity and military technical skills, he got a lot of victories. To the left, the image of the Cuban attack, which will become a symbolic image of the War of Independence. Further to the left, the red seal of the National Bank of Cuba. On the reverse, centrally you will notice the official emblem of Cuba. On the sides instead, the image of the industrial process of tobacco. On the left a plantation. On the right a cigar factory. Product that has become very famous all over the world. Today this note is worth $45. The 50 Cuban peso banknote issued between 1950 and 1960 depicts on the obverse the bust of Calixto Garcia Iniguez, Cuban patriot of the second half of the 19th century. Took part in several rebellions against the Spaniards. To the left, the red seal of the Bank of Cuba. To the right, the nominal value reported both in letters and numbers. On the reverse, the classic official coat of arms of the country, with written in Spanish next to it, which translated mean 50 pesos. Banknote issued during the period of the First Cuban Republic today is worth $46.